Hey guys, it's me Jessica, and today I'm going to be doing a really big book haul. So this is a combination of books from my last book haul that I did. From now, I'm pretty sure these are most, if not all, the books. I am sitting here because there are just so many books that it wouldn't fit if I sat anywhere else, so I'm sitting here where I can just see them, and I have all of them. That is my TBR bookshelf behind me. My bookshelf that I normally film at is right over that way, so it's there. I'm just filming here at the moment, so then I can show you guys the books, because they're right here. Grace is amazing. She has a channel as well. It's called From Parchment to Books. She's posting a little more often now, which is fantastic, so I'll link her channel down below. And the books that she got me are Spindlefire by Lexa Hillier. I believe Hillier. I think it's Lexa Hillier. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling where Sleeping Beauty has a sister, and so her sister tries to help break the curse as well as she goes on a journey to find her Sleeping Beauty's Aurora character's true love. And then there's also from the point of view of the Aurora character, and she's kind of in this magical world with all these thorns and things like that. So that is Spindlefire. That is what I know of Spindlefire, and I'm excited to read it. It looks really good. And the next book she got me, I almost started crying when I got. If you know me, you know Derek Landy is my favorite author. And besides Skullduggery Pleasant, there is one trilogy that he wrote that I don't have. And so she sent me the first book, Demon Road, and I'm so excited. This is a, I want to say supernatural or just like magical road trip. And I love road trips so much. So I'm really excited to read this. I really want to read it this year. Also, I should have read number 10 of Skullduggery Pleasant. I don't know why I haven't, but I want to read this one as well. So the next book that she sent me, this one came a couple of weeks after the other two. She sent them separately, but this book is absolutely amazing. I love it so much, and I can't wait to display it on my bookshelf because it's a book I already read, but it's a different edition, and that is the special edition Owl Crate version of Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Look at it. It is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It is white with black and red, and it's beautiful. It's like inverted, and I love it so much. So the other 4 books I'm going to show you are books that I got today. I went out with my friend Alex, and we went to an outlet mall that has a Books-A-Million, and I have a Books-A-Million gift card. Well, I used to. So I got 2 books from there, and the 2 books I got are Roseblood by A.G. Howard. I wanted to read this book for so long. It is a Phantom of the Opera kind of retelling or reimagining of some sort. And I have just been wanting to read it forever. And it's been a year since it came out. It's been a year because this is paperback, and paperbacks take a year to come out. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to read it. It doesn't have the red ink on it. It's got black ink, which is a little bit of a letdown for me. I really wanted the red ink, but I've got Roseblood, so that's kind of all that matters. And the next book I got from Books-A-Million was like the book that I knew I had to get when I went there, and that is The Becoming of Noah Shaw by Michelle Hodkins. I'm so excited. This is the companion series to the Mara Dyer trilogy, and I'm so excited because I love Noah Shaw, and it's a lot smaller than I thought it'd be, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Shaw Confessions #1, so yes. And then, so after we went to Books-A-Million, we went to this other kind of used bookstore that's got like used bookstores, music, all this other stuff. Not only does it have used books, but it's got like new books that just came out as well. But we went there, and while we were there, I picked up a book that I've been having my eye on for so long, and I've heard only great things about it, and that is These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. And so I got it for $5. When it's normally $20 and I got it for $5, I'm taking that as a steal. So, I got These Shallow Graves, which I hope to be reading sometime this year, maybe on the second half of the year, since my first half is kind of booked. The next book I got from there, I only got 2. is a book that I actually had in my hand at Books A Million that I was gonna pay $10 for, and then we go to this used bookstore and I see it there for $4, and I was like, I'm so glad I put it down. And that is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. Robin, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I've heard nothing but good things about the His Fair Assassin trilogy or series. I've heard nothing but good things. So I am really excited to start getting into this series with Grave Mercy. So excited. I'm so excited. This is probably gonna be one of my next reads. After February, this is probably gonna be one of my next reads. Alright, so next I got a book that I just found at Target, and I was like, it's 20% off. They're normally really expensive. I just have to get this book. And it is The Force Doth Awakens by Ian Doescher. Doescher? I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Last names are so hard sometimes. But it's The Force Awakens in Shakespearean. Star Wars The Force Awakens in Shakespearean. It has continued on. I believe he's doing Rogue One. I know The Last Jedi is going to be coming out soon as well. So, yeah, so I believe Rogue One is he's translating Rogue One into this, so I'm excited. So now I have this one and I believe another one, or is it just this one? No, this is the only one I have yet to read that I own. I'm still missing 3 within all of within the ones that are out currently. So next I got a book that I believe I got at a used bookstore called McKay's, and a couple of these next ones are going to be from there. I think it's only actually 2. Well, okay, so actually there's going to be more than that, but from the past ones, I believe I got this one at McKay's, and it's Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. Oh my god, there's another Jennifer Donnelly book! I didn't notice that until now. But it's Beauty and the Beast. It's about Belle, and she finds this book within the Beast library that kind of sucks her in and takes her into a different place. Takes her within the book itself. It's middle grade, I believe, because every time I find it at bookstores, it's in the middle grade section. But I'm excited to read this book because I love the concept of like people who love books getting like sucked into the book that they're reading, like literally, not figuratively. So I'm excited to read that. I'm excited to read this. Alright, so the next book I have here is a book that I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Danielle. And not only that, but after I'm done reading this book, I'm going to be sending it to my friend Annika because she loves this series and I bought it for her, but then I had like 3 books. I had 3 books to send to her already, so I wanted to make it at least fair to all the other people I'm sending books to, but I'm going to be reading this book, and then as a graduation present I'm going to be sending it to her, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and this is the special edition version of it. It's got red dusted pages. It's red itself. It says "Power is a dangerous game" on the back, and it's got this really cool, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Red Queen, and I'm trying to get like the light to catch it in a right way. I don't think it will. You can kind of see it there a little bit, but there's like blood dripping from it, and then it says Red Queen. Yeah. So I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna send it to my friend. So next I have a book that I found at the thrift store, and I looked at it and I was like, do I want to get it? And I was like, it's $1, you know, why the heck not? And that is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I've read Shiver by her and I thought it was meh, and this book doesn't really kind of catch me, but I feel like this book is the type of book that's different to what the synopsis is, or I just feel that it is, and if it's not, then whatever. But one of these days I want to get to it, and I think they're making a movie or a TV show, so I definitely want to read this before it comes out. And now that I have book 1, you know, I gotta read it. Oh, there's a bookmarker in it that says Paris. It's a bookmarker of the Eiffel Tower. Oh, free bookmarker, look at that. Whoop. So yeah, I got The Raven Boys. Next, I got a book that my friend Annika sent me for Christmas, and I'm actually kind of excited to read it because I read the synopsis on Goodreads after I got it, after I opened the present up, and I was like, this sounds amazing. And that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and I really like the cover too. It's really cool, and it won the Hugo Award for 2016, and I believe there are 3 other books, so it's a trilogy. So there's 2 other books. So it's a trilogy, but the concept sounds cool. It's fantasy, and it's about this woman who comes home to find that her husband has murdered her son and kidnapped her daughter. And while this is happening, kind of this red mist covers the world or something like that. And so even though everyone's freaking out about this kind of like this thing that's happening, she goes out and she tries to find her daughter, which I think is a very interesting story. And I'm excited to read it, and I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but I definitely want to read it this year. There's so many books I want to read this year. The next book I got from the thrift store, and I saw it. I was contemplating on getting it, but part of me is actually gonna read it because I actually have a class called Mystery in Lit and Film, and this book is just perfect to read for that class. And it's Agatha Christie's Secret Notebooks, and this is by John Curran, and it is about kind of like dissecting these secret notebooks that Agatha Christie had, where she kind of plans out her novels, and how she comes up with ideas and where to put certain clues and hints and things like that about the books. And I am very excited to read this book and see what it's about. A part of me is a little hesitant to read it because I have only read 2 Agatha Christie books, and I kind of want to read some more Agatha Christie before I really start diving in here, because what if there are spoilers for books that I haven't read? I don't want to be spoiled for any Agatha Christie books. So I feel like I might hold on to this until after I've read a lot of her books, and I think that might be what I do. So the next 2 books I also found at the thrift store. I think I found them at the same time. No, I found this at a different thrift store. And these 2 books, I can't believe I found them. I've been kind of thinking about them on Goodreads, because I have a book by this author as well, and this is another series of hers, and that is Starflight and Starfall by Melissa Landers. These are her other, this is her other duology, I guess. Her other series is Alienated, and that's a trilogy, and I believe this is a duology, and it's about a guy and a girl who want to get off. I believe the main character is a girl. So it's about this girl who wants to get off Earth, and so she pretends to be this very important person, and this guy that she hates also wants to get off Earth, and he tries to help her out with her kind of like persona, and then they, you know, end up falling in love and stuff like that. So this is Starlight and Starfall by Melissa Landers, and I found both of these together at the thrift store, which was pretty amazing. So the next book I have here I found at a thrift store, of course, but this is a different thrift store, and I saw it and I was like, this cover sucks, but I've only heard amazing things about this book, about the series, so I decided to get it anyway, and if I like it enough, then maybe I'll go out and buy the hardcover or a different version of it, and that is The Winner's Curse, and this is by Marie Rukowski, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Like, look at this cover, it is hideous, it is gross. I really like the hardcover, I think that's really cool, but as long as I have the story itself, and then maybe you just have the beautiful spine showing, everything will be okay. But I'm excited to read this book. I think I've added it on to my February theme of the month. I don't know yet. This next book is a second book in the series. I don't even own the first book, and I was planning on getting it at at Books A Million today, but I didn't find it there, which made me very upset. So I have the second book, but not the first, and I hope to get the first soon. Otherwise, I'm ordering it off Amazon or something. But that book is Elite, and this is by Mercedes Lackey. Mercedes Lackey. As far as I know, this is about dragons, and I love dragons, and this cover is gorgeous, and I really want to read it. But the first book is called Hunter, and Hunter also has an amazing cover as well, and I just really want to get my hands on it. There were 2 copies of these at the thrift store, at the same thrift store. There were 2 copies of these, and but no copy of the first book, which just didn't make sense to me. But I don't even know when the next time I'm going to find this book again at the thrift store, so I just got it. And then another book I got at the thrift store as well is Beautiful Secret by Christina Lauren. I've already read this book, but I do have the first, second, and third book, so I might as well get the fourth. Now I need the fifth, and I've completed the series. I haven't read the fifth one yet, so yeah. And then next book I got is Arch Enemy by Frank Bedore, and this is the third and I believe final book in the Looking Glass Wars. I do have the first and the second. I haven't read them yet, but I really want to, and now that I have the third one I can just binge them, and that is the goal, is to just binge them. And this is Arch Enemy, and this series is a kind of retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and these came out a little while ago. I don't know when they were published exactly. Oh, there's a map. I love maps. 2009, so almost 10 years ago. Wow, this book came out almost 10 years ago, but I hope to read it. It looks really cool and like chrome looking, and then the second cover looks amazing, and the cover of the first book is pretty cool too. So next book, I feel slightly guilty for buying all of these, but the other part of me doesn't feel guilty at all. And as you know, I believe I said last year that I have read the first and second volumes of the Pandora Hearts manga series, and so I went to a used bookstore with Danielle, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the history, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to manga real quick. Go to manga. I find all of these here, and I'm like, and I calculated in my head because they're all roughly about $5 at the used bookstore, and I'm like, this is $50 worth of books. And I didn't know what to do, so I talked to Danielle, and she's like, when the next time you're gonna like see something like this? And I was like, probably never. So I've got volumes 3 through 11 of the Pandora Hearts mangas, which I feel a little guilty about, but at the same time I don't, because when is the next time I'm gonna get a deal like this? And I know there's 24, so I still have 13 more books to get, but I have now 3 through 11, and I'm gonna be reading them all this year, and it's really gonna bump up my my reading goal, which is fantastic, and I'm so excited to read these. So 3 through 11. That's crazy. So the next book I got after I saw Murder on the Orient Express. I did see that movie, and we went to Target afterwards, and I have friends who just, I was like, oh, I want this book, and they're like, get it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I got Language of the Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This book is absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at the cover, and then naked. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, this could possibly win best cover of 2018. Like, it's gorgeous. It's part of the Grishaverse. It is all the folk tales that are said, that are told in certain areas of the Grishaverse. So it even says on there. So at Ravkan, the Ravkan people, they tell stories of Two Clever Fox, the Witch of Duva, and the Little Knife. And there's just like all of these other ones, and it's so amazing. And I've actually read a couple of these. I read them online because I was looking at her kind of all the books she's written on Goodreads, and I saw a couple of them. So I've read the Two Clever Fox, and I've read a couple of other ones as well. So I can just skip through them, but maybe skim through them. But I'm excited to read The Language of the Thorns, and this actually might be the next one I read because it's going to be really easy for me to get through since I've read all the other ones. I'm gonna finish this book before I finish The Crooked Kingdom, which is gonna be a little sad, but whatever. So the next book is the book my friend Fiend got me, or Osho is his name. He sent me this book all the way from India. He also sent me some beautiful earrings and an amazing scarf. So yeah, and the book he got me is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, I think his name is, and it's the red dusted pages, and I'm excited to read this book. And yeah, I'm excited to read this book. I know what it's about, and I'm gonna buddy read it with Danielle because she has a copy of it, and we're gonna buddy read it. This year just turned out to be like the year of buddy reads because I am buddy reading The Wrath in the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh right now. Almost done with it. I will get to a review later on that. I've buddy read Stalking Jack the Ripper. I finished reading Hunting Prince Dracula. Danielle's still reading Hunting Prince Dracula. She's about 100 pages in. And then Danielle and I have a bunch of buddy reads lined up, and I'm going to be doing more buddy reads with my book clubs. The rest of these books I got with Danielle when we went to the used bookstore, and I'm going to start off with The Rose Society by Marie Lu. I saw this there, and I had to get it, you know, because I told you guys in my review for The Young Elites, if I ever found The Rose Society at a thrift store, I would get it. So I found it at a used bookstore for $2. And I got it. The spine is a little kind of rough around the edges, literally, but it's as I said for The Winter's Curse, it's still the story, and I'm still gonna read it, and I'm still gonna appreciate it, and it still will go on my shelf, even though it's a little rough. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. The next book I got is Of Fire and Stars, and this is by Audrey Coulthurst. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but this book seems very interesting. It is LGBTQ plus kind of related. It's about two girls. One of them is a princess, and she's arranged to marry the other main character's a brother, and I believe the brother dies, and the two girls start kind of growing closer together, and I believe they end up getting together, which I think is amazing, and I'm really excited to read it. I love the cover. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at that. I'm looking at the viewfinder because it's so pretty. So yeah, I hope to be reading this sometime soon. I hate saying that, but it just comes out of my mouth because I really do hope to be reading this sometime soon. And considering that I've read 5, almost 6 books so far this year, I might actually get to it. So the next book I have is Rook, and this is by Shannon Cameron. My friend Joy has read this book, and she said it's really good, so I hope to read it sometime this year. I hate saying that. But I hope to read it sometime soon. By soon, probably next year with this book, not gonna lie, but I like the cover a lot. So the next book I have is a second book in, I don't know if it's a series or a trilogy, and I do have the first book. I believe I hauled it, my last haul, I don't know, but just so you know, I do have the first book. And the book is The Last of August by Brittany Cavallor. The first book is A Study in Scarlet, and these are about the descendants of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson. And yeah, I'm excited to get to this series and read it. I love that kind of smart deduction mystery. That's really why I love Thomas so much from Stalking Jack the Ripper. I just love his way of thinking. So I'm excited to get to these books and read them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The next 2 books I have are actually classics, and I do hope to be reading these as well. That's why I bought these certain copies. And the first one is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I got this book in particular because Tessa Gray, it's her favorite book, and I would like to read it to see why she loves it so much. It's pretty much the only reason I bought A Tale of Two Cities. It's unabridged. It actually looks pretty small because normally every time I get a copy of A Tale of Two Cities it's pretty thick. But the font doesn't look too bad, which is good. The next book I have is, oh my god, it's from Borders. Does anyone remember when Borders was a thing? That's just mind-blowing. But this next book is something I got because I have never read any Edgar Allan Poe before, and I feel really bad about never reading any Edgar Allan Poe. So this is The Poe Reader by Edgar Allan Poe. It's got a bunch of his stories and poems in there, and the font doesn't look too bad. I'm always very particular with classics and the font. If the font is too small, then I won't read it. I won't read it because I don't want to read it. So yeah, so I got The Poe Reader. which, what does it look like naked? Oh, just nothing. It looks like something spilt someone spilt something on it, which doesn't look good, but doesn't look too bad. So yeah. Alright, there we go. So those are all of the books that I got within the past couple of months. I got a lot, but honestly, it wasn't, I don't feel like it was a lot of money. I did spend $81 at the used bookstore I went to with Danielle, but other than that, I don't think it was a lot of money. I spent 20 bucks today on books. I got 4 books for 20 bucks, which I think is fantastic. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you've read any of the books that I showed you guys today, and you just tell me what you felt about them, if you like them or dislike them. So comment down below, and then also make sure to subscribe and ring that bell as well. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!